gonna go and see the new Terminator movie. James, I stopped after Terminator 2. Everything after T2 was just rubbish.
Welcome back, Meta.
Thank you for 28 months, Andy G. Andy T, thank you for 41. Welcome back, Sean 55. And Daniel Barrett. Daniel Berthor. Thank you very much for subbing, Daniel.
Welcome back.
Oh boy.
Meta.
T2 was in for you. Yeah.
Welcome to the Nut House.
You say Grandmummy and Granddaddy, as well as Nana and Pawpaw. Pawpaw? That's an interesting one. Oh my life. That guy. Whoa. Crazy driving. You saw the new Shaun the Sheep film? Yeah, see, I'm torn between, do I go and watch Shaun the Sheep? Not Shaun the Sheep, the new, what's that new zombie one? Is that Shaun the Sheep? The new zombie killing one, the humorous thing. I can't remember the name of it now. Or do I watch Joker? Zombieland 2, that's it. Do I watch Zombieland 2 or do I watch Joker? Do I want to watch a bit of comedy or do I want to watch dark? And you know, like I'm torn. Because I like Zombieland. I think it's funny. I know Joker's going to be really good.
Roundabout, second exit.
Why not both? Well. Oh, what the heck? Like, what's going on?
Take
now?
the exit.
2 lots of cinema in a week is a bit expensive, you know. XD, welcome back. Whoa. Shaun of the Dead for the win. I do wonder if Zombieland's going to have the whole Twinkie thing again. It was filmed 15 miles from your hometown, was there? Yeah, Alex, if I could go to the cinema, like, often, I'd get that on an unlimited thing. The only thing you've got to watch with that is that you don't end up wasting a lot of money on snacks and all. The final Star Wars in December. Yeah, sure. Definitely the final one.
Go around the roundabout, second exit.
Wow, this roundabout is small.
Take the exit.
But once or twice a week and you got your value. Well, that's just the thing. Like, what? Even once a
Go
week
around
is
the roundabout, second
pushing
exit.
it. Even once a week, you'll get your value out of it.
Take the exit.
It's a pity I can't, like, buy 2 of them,
Around the roundabout,
and then
second
anybody in my
exit.
family could use it. That'd be brilliant. We'd definitely get our money's worth then.
Take the exit.
Tea.
Happy anniversary, Nata.
Go around the roundabout, first exit.
Whoa. Okay. Jason B, thank you for 33 months.
Take the exit.
Ay, 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 ay.
Andy. My son calls Granddad Dad. Nice. Dad. It's actually technically accurate.
Go around the roundabout, first exit. Take the exit. Go around the roundabout, third exit.
Stay there all my life. Had enough of that infirm bus.
Take the exit. Go around the roundabout, first exit. Take the exit.
AI for the win, you're not kidding.
Go straight on.
In no way grandparents in general are best. So best far, best more.
Make a U-turn.
Sounds similar to the whole grand concept. This pro mod's worth getting. Yep. Oh, look at that. Ford trucks as you turn it off. Your stepdad wanted him to call him Dad. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I couldn't call my stepdad Dad. Just didn't work for me. It's a very. I think it depends on what age you are. When the separation occurs, you know, it's difficult. Had a stepdad. Had two, actually.
Go around the roundabout, second exit. Take the exit.
Daniel Berthar, if I can pronounce that correctly. I've been enjoying your content for around 6 years now. It was about time I subscribed to you and support you. Thank you very much, Daniel. Appreciate that. You called your foster mum mum. Again, it's a personal choice. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. How long has Pro Mods had Island? Best part of 2019, maybe last year. I can't remember actually. It's been in it that long, I can't actually remember how long it's been in promos.
Keep right, then keep left.
Keep right, then keep left. Okay. Is there a gap in between? Yeah, exactly. It's just straight on then. Go right and go left.
Go straight on. Then turn left. Turn left.
You've eaten too much
Left
dinner.
turn ahead. Turn left.
Welcome
You have
back.
reached your
Akira
destination.
Samurai, welcome back. We made it. Yay!
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
No idea where we are right now, because I can't see out the other mirror. I don't know why it wasn't accepting that. Slightly premature, Captain Flint, but appreciate it. Tractor video was great. Experience was out of this world. That 3D effect was absolutely good. Felt like I was there. Thanks for the video. You're welcome. I think anybody that watches that particular one on like a 3D headset, I think that's the one that you get the best perspective out of in 3D. And I think it's because, just because of the way a tractor is, you've got the cockpit sensation and then you've got this arm that goes into the distance. Everything between like 1 and 5 meters, you get the proper 3D effect. And that's one of the reasons I left that video till last. AN4211, thank you for gifting subs to Hulls Rob and Encryption. Welcome, guys.
Welcome to the Nut House.
Turn left.
Welcome to the Nut House.
Keep left.
A sub firecracker.
Right turn ahead. Turn right. You have reached your destination.
I like this. This is how they should be. Like little garages like this with a fuel station and repair center. That's really cool. May as well refuel over here, right? How was it playing Farming Sim real life? What? You might even try that tractor experience for real. Yeah, it's fun. They do all kinds of things up there. You can do tractor, quad biking. You can even go on like photography shoots, shearing sheep. They do all kinds of stuff. Is there a link for this truck? Yep, the mods have the link, but it won't be released till Tuesday. I kind of thought about having a go of sheep shearing and doing a VR 180 video of it, just for the giggles. But, you know, wrestling with a sheep, that's going to be pretty tiring. That would be brilliant, yeah. Trouble is, that place is like all the way up, where was it now? Edinburgh, Dumfries. I think it's like here somewhere, if I remember. It's around about that area. So, you know, from Chelmsford, which is here, there's a heck of a drive. Brake fluid. 5 tons of brake fluid. How about a VR 180 mail train video? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, the production difficulties of setting up a VR 180 camera in a steam locomotive, James, they're very real. Setting up in a Class 47 is relatively easy, and that was painful. VR 180 plane video. I wanted to do that, but on a GA plane, everything is built to kind of flex and move. And in a VR 180 camera, you have to clamp things to solid things. If the camera starts to move around and you're watching in 3D, you will feel sick. And honestly, I can't work out how to clamp a VR 180 camera into a Cessna 172. Like, you know, it's just, I just can't see how to do it. The 4x4 quad, the way you turned up. Well, at the end of the video, yeah. I had a bit of fun on that. He said to me, he said, why don't you, you know, if you're staying overnight, like we can go quad biking in the morning if you want. And I said, I'd love to, but honestly, I'm so tired. I'm just going to head back. I had like a 7-hour drive ahead of me. So yeah, I could have gone quad biking. Like, quad bikes are okay, but after a while, they're a bit... eh. I'm not sure what you mean, Himper. Yeah, filming in VR 180 is difficult from the point of view of clamping and mounting the camera correctly is like the first problem, and then you've got to keep it stable. That's the next problem. There's no aperture on a VR 180 camera. That is to say, there's no way, the only way you have of adjusting the exposure is via the shutter speed, because there's no aperture on the lens. The lens is like a big fisheye. So you'll notice on the Class 47 video, you'll notice that the outside was getting overexposed sometimes. And even on the bridge video, you'll see Doyle was getting a little bit overexposed. It's because you can't adjust the aperture. And if the sun comes in and out, dynamically, it really messes up the... If the sun comes in and out quickly, like it did on the train video, it can really mess up the exposure level. And you have to sit there, somebody has to sit there on their phone, connected to the camera, and literally adjust the shutter speed to bring the exposure back down or back up again. The correct way of filming that would have been to set up loads of lights inside the Class 47 to like lift up the internals so that we could shut down the outside. Because it's basically a problem is called dynamic range. The problem exists between how dark things are and how light things are. And the bigger the range, the harder it is for the camera. So what you want to do is put lights in the cockpit so that you bring up the light levels, which means there's not such a difference between the inside and the outside. But what happened in the train video, we tried to sort of you know, expose it so that you could see the inside of the train. But inevitably on the outside, if the sun popped out from behind a cloud, which it did, it would just blow the exposure level. And that was a real problem. Like I say, it was technically a very difficult thing to film.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
I don't know, USMC. Waiting to see like how the videos are, how the videos perform and stuff. Which, you know, at the moment the video performance is not that amazing, but we'll see if anything else comes of it. But it's a lot of effort to get not much in the way of views, you know. D-Storm, thank you for the bits. Just finished the tractor video. Really enjoyed all 4. Thank you for the hard work you put into making them. Appreciate that, D-Storm. Yeah, hope they pick up. I don't think they will, to be honest, Heyman. Oh, Phillips, who wants a cup of tea? I've still got half left. What's your favourite to make? To be honest, all of them. It was hard to even enjoy the Porsche to some extent because it was all work and trying to focus on making the video. Like if somebody said, oh, come and spend the day racing a Porsche around Silverstone, I'd have enjoyed it immensely. But when you've got to go there and rig it and think about the filming aspects, it's hard to actually enjoy the driving when you're focused on the video. But, you know, the tractor one was quite funny. That was fun to make. That was more relaxed than the others. Once the rigging was done, it wasn't so bad. Like there was no time pressure. Like the Porsche video had a lot of time pressure because we were only at the track for the day. Another guy, Porsche wanted to give the car to somebody else for an hour at 4 o'clock, which I had to allow them to do because it was their car. A couple of people lost it on track and spilt things, which removed the track time. The weather kept changing, so there was a lot of time pressure on the Porsche video. You had one day to get the shoot done. And out of that day, there wasn't much time to drive the car. The bridge video, again, similar problems. There was a lot of time pressure because it gets very, very busy from about 10 a.m. So a lot of that filming was done. A lot of the filming was done either right at the end of the day or right at the start of the day, so that the crowds weren't kind of getting into the shot. Like that bench where I was sat, normally that's got 10 people on it constantly. But because I went there so early, there was nobody there. So I set up, started filming, got the shots done before people started to rock up. And then on the train video, again, I had one day to do the shot and burned 3 hours just rigging the camera. And then had to drive to the end of the line, get out, set up the camera again, do the filming outside of the train, then de-rig, get back in the train, set up the camera, drive along the line, do that whole take, get out of the train, go to the end of the line, set up, and then do like 3 set pieces at the end of the line, plus 1 on the platform. It was an entire day, and it was very, very tiring. The only one that was relaxed, really, was the tractor, because I had 2 days on the farm, and I could have even stayed for a 3rd day, so there was far less time pressure on the tractor video. But on the 2nd day, the weather started to come in, so if you notice on the filming, when I get to the bit on the tree, there's actually, like once or twice, there's a blob of water on the lens.
Keep left.
Because unlike a normal camera, you can't cover it. The lens is a big fisheye. So if it rains onto the lens, and there's literally nothing you can do. You just can't film in the rain. Well, it started raining, so I had to put the camera under a big tree, but every now and again the tree would just kind of drip water onto the lens. So, like I say, filming in VR 180 is very challenging. Frisk, thank you for half a year. King Awesome, I really miss playing ETS and ATS since I've become a real-life truck driver. I feel it's more work playing trucking games now. I get that. I really miss it though. Keep up the great work. Always looking forward to streams. Thank you, King Olsen. I totally understand where you're coming from. Do you regret signing up for the VR1X project? I don't regret it. I just don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna get out of it perhaps as much as I would have liked to have got out of it. If you see what I mean. Like the videos are not gonna explode on YouTube. That's obvious. So I'm not gonna get the views in that sense. Oh god, what have I done? I think I'm on the wrong shift. I don't know if any other work will come from it, and what do I do with it going forward? I'm not sure. There are things that I could do, but frankly, if it means knocking out like 2 days of work, 2 days of filming, and then 3 days of editing and rendering, if it means knocking that much work into something that's only going to turn around 10, 15,000 views on YouTube, what is the point? Like financially, that doesn't make any sense. Plus, you've got to travel to wherever you're going, possibly pay. Like I had to pay to use that train. I had to pay for the diesel for that train. That was like 250 quid just for using the diesel on the train. So I'm immediately out of pocket. Likewise, when I went up to do the tractor, I had to pay for accommodation nearby in the little farmhouse thing. That was another 300 quid plus the fuel going there and back. So like you're literally out of pocket. I could have not done that, and instead of doing all that work, I could have just made 6 or 7 My Summer Car or Eurotruck videos or something and not been financially out of pocket. You see what I mean? So you have to sort of keep one eye on doing something cool and brilliant and new, and another eye on is that financially viable to do that? Does that make sense? I don't know if I'll do more Rage and Nebula. Probably. I'll probably try it again. But next time it would be on my terms, like way more relaxed, because I know what it takes to make these videos. So I would set things up so that I had way more preparation. For example, if I was shooting the Porsche video again, I would go down there the day before and spend a day in the car, get to know the car, and rig the camera in the car, rig all the framing the day before, so that when I got to the track on the day, it would be a case of briefing and out in the car. You know, this is the kind of thing that you would know having learnt about this stuff. But it was all new. Yeah, Bob, yes. Bob, Google paid the expenses on it, so I'm not actually out of pocket. But if I was to do that for another video, I would be out of pocket. Can you live stream VR180? Nope. And honestly, you wouldn't want it. Because if you were sat there on a 3D headset and I started picking a camera up and moving it around, you'd throw up. Be under no illusions. You would feel sick. That'd be like me getting hold of your head and just, like, moving it around. The experience was very good, and I got to do really cool things. But here's the question. If I'd have gone to Silverstone or gone to the bridge or gone in the train and just took GoPros, yeah. What, you know, it would have been far easier to produce the video, and, you know, apart from the oh god. No!
Turn left.
Apart from the 3D side of things, it would have been far, far easier to make the video. I could have got multiple camera angles. I could have edited it like way differently, which you just can't do in VR180. So yeah, again, you have to sort of think about it. Did sleep in a hotel near Temple Town Centre. I literally was up there and just phoned like just looked on my booking app for a place that accepted, that was dog friendly, found somewhere and just stayed there. I can't remember the name of the hotel. Was there any other people doing simulation VR 180 to boot camp? Nope. You had... there's one guy that does VR gaming, so he was on there doing some stuff. He was hoping to do VR inside of a game, but that didn't work out. There's another one who does... she does like videos for kids, like the kids unbox stuff. So the videos are for kids, made by kids. It's quite a big channel. They were doing it in 3D. There's another one, like an Asian lady that does cooking in her kitchen. So the videos for her were just like... I think she knocked out the 4 videos in like 3 weeks. Because she just put the camera in a kitchen and hit record and off you go. Whereas I was trying to put it inside of a moving vehicle, which was way harder. Yes, I do have access to the Flight Sim Alpha, James. So, you know, most of the channels, like National Geographic were on there. I think it was National Geographic and one of the BBC channels. And also the Jamie Oliver channel. Jamie Oliver's production team was there as well. So if you look on Jamie Oliver's YouTube, he's probably got 4 VR 180 videos. So again, there were 2 channels that were literally just doing cooking. Which, in your own controlled environment, in your own studio, VR 180 is relatively easy. The moment you step outside the door and start working in a moving platform, it's a whole different ballgame. Do I have a photo that mounted in the Porsche Boeing? Hang on, I do. Whether I can find it's a different story. 1 second. I mean, I've got all kinds of... If I ever do a behind-the-scenes video, I've got loads of pictures and footage. Oh, here we go. Here's the Porsche. There you go. Can you see that? Might be easier if I... So you can kind of see the rigging that I ended up going for. It's the most difficult thing is trying to get the height, like the position of the camera. Hang on, there's some more here somewhere. There you go. You'll probably see it better on that one actually. You see how there's like a rod that comes under here. It's attached to the roll cage. There's one that comes from the back, and then there's one that comes from near the top. And this is all like, I had to buy all this professional equipment. These are like aluminium rods. And these clamps here take one rod and another rod, and then you can position them and twist them and then clamp it together. So there's like multiple of those clamps. Then you've got this other clamp that has a ball head on it that the camera sits on. Then you've got the audio recorders up here. So I've got a wireless mic on me. Plus there's another mic inside just to get the ambient sound. But obviously nobody else can sit here. Like you literally have to have the camera rigged up and then you go out kind of thing. So, best dog ever. And then there's the counter. There's another shot of it there. Yeah, you can kind of see on this one the audio recorder at the back. That's the wireless receiver for the mic. And there's the audio recorder. So that's feeding into that. The camera itself, I think, records some audio, but you don't use it. You just use it to synchronize on. But you can see these big clamps here. And that's the same rigging I used on all the videos then. That was the other Porsche. That was a lovely one. That was the GT2 RS. That was pretty much the fastest thing on the track that day. That car is insane. That's nuts. That's insane. A GT2 RS is actually just nuts. Yeah, that was like, I think that was in Mrs. Squirrel's car when I was doing a rehearsal. I was like trying to work out. So this is in Mrs. Squirrel's car. So this is like just any normal car that doesn't have a roll cage. Drop the seat back. And then I've got these like professional window sucker things. And the reason they're professional ones is because they have like a pump action on them. So you kind of press this pump thing repeatedly, and it creates a suction, and then it has like a line on it that shows you when it's at full power. And then there's like a massive rod that comes from the other window. So there's one on the window here, one on the window here, and then one going down to the ground. But it's too unstable, so I had to use a ratchet clamp. You see this ratchet strap here? So this ratchet clamp attaches down to here and pulls the thing to give it some kind of like tension to stop it moving. Then again, you just get the camera level at roughly eye height. And then, yeah, I test drove it around Chelmsford, around Tesco car park to be exact. See if there's anything else I can show you. Right, so, best dog ever. As you may have guessed, I've got a few pictures of my dog. Don't seem to have any from any rigging of the train. I think I've showed some of these before, actually. It's like inside the train itself, inside the engine bay, which is just incredibly messy. It's incredibly old. Like, this thing was built in the 60s. You know, the compressor and stuff like that. It's just nuts. Everything's just covered in oil. Very messy place. Anyway, let's get back to trucking. That is the iPhone XS Max. It's not this year's. It's not the one with the triple lenses. It's last year's model. I could upgrade, but I'm like, meh. Upgrade to get an extra lens. Great. No, the BMW's my car, Chris. She drives a Toyota Yaris Hybrid. There's no point putting degreaser in there. The whole floor has the whole floor is a puddle of oil. And the gangway that you walk on floats over the oil. The engine constantly oozes oil.
Straight on.
Where do you get the Ford? You can't get it till Tuesday, mate.
Right turn ahead.
This is a pre-release version, as it says in the title. This is a pre-release version of the Ford F-Max.
Turn right.
No, don't retire the locomotive, dude. Like, the whole heritage lines are kept alive by volunteers. And the engines are owned by private people, like, who just want to keep them running. But they cost a fantastic amount to keep going. But you can't just retire that kind of history.
Turn left.
Oh, the 47's great. I love it. Jabcon, you should have a look in 3D if you can. You'd be surprised how different it is in 3D. Like all the videos, not just the train one. More especially the tractor one. We're going
You
here.
have reached your destination.
Captain Flint, I'm trying to remember the brakes now. One of them's for the actual engine itself. One's the train brake. One's the actual loco brake. So one, like if you have cars attached, one will operate the brakes on the cars as well. whereas the other one will only operate on the loco. J4, I literally just answered you, mate. You've asked me where did I get the truck from, and I answered you. I said to you, it's a pre-release, and it comes out on Tuesday. And it's in the title. I can knock on your door and explain it better if you want. Yes, I have some Waterloo Road. Alright, gents. Let's see what we can get over here. Maybe something more exciting. Grimsby. It's grimming Grimsby. Sheffield, motor oil. I'd kind of like to go north through Ireland, really. Yeah. Goat cheese. Empty parts. Let's take the goat cheese. Whoa, ends in 9 minutes. 1 sec. Let's be very quick with this one. Where the heck is the pickup point? Is it actually from here? Refrigerated. Yeah, we'll take that one. Oh, hello, Pringle. Good to see you still alive. Left you various messages on Discord, not responded at all. Emelika, thank you for 14 months. Wait, that guy's in the bus lane? So's that van? Scumbags. You bus lane scumbag. Do I ever think you'll be able to exit the truck and walk around in this game? I'm going to go with a no.
Go straight on.
Toke, it's been discussed for many years. I even asked Pavel himself in an interview years ago.
Then keep left.
I see no signs of it happening.
Keep left. Then turn right.
You're looking forward to Spin Tire's Mud Runner 2. When's it out?
Turn right.
You want clickable buttons and windows. Well, it's not so much the game engine won't allow it. It's not really about that. It's more to do with the world that you inhabit, the way it's been modeled, was never designed for you to walk around it. So that's the reason they don't do it. Because you start walking around, you suddenly find yourself falling through bits of map. Because, well, you was never designed to drive a vehicle there, so they didn't bother making it a collision surface. So if you walked into it, you'd fall through the map. So there's lots of issues with the mapping that would have to change. But, you know, I did say to him, we'll just make it in a contained environment. Like, you pull up inside your big garage, and you can get out and walk around your garage. Even that. Just let me walk around my truck in a contained environment. But even that's not been added. So, I don't think on that basis you'll be able to do it. Yeah, but Microsoft Flight Sim won't have the inside of the airport's model, Connor. What do I think about the game Truck Driver? Most of the time, have you seen a video from me yet, James?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Phillips, I know it's minor, but I want to be able to see the pedals on the floor when you press them. Well, meh. I don't have a camera. Not yet. So I kind of have this thing, James, where I don't like making a video. I don't like making a video on a game or something where I tear it apart. If I don't like something, I just don't play it. Yeah? If I don't like a game, if a game is like not something I want to play, or it's just not a great game, shall we say, I don't make a video of it and say this is not a great game. And it kind of falls into that category. It should be fairly obvious that if my channel is not covered it, there must be a reason. Let me put it that way. Because, you know, a truck sim game, why have I not covered it? You meant the pedals move, not slipper cam. Right, L. Phillips. Confusing. But I get you now. I thought you meant you needed a camera for the slipper cam. You'd like to see me play it? Well, the only way that's going to happen is if I stream it. And it's going to fall into the category a bit like Firmbus, that you'll basically see it warts and all. But sometimes when I play something, people take that as an endorsement of it. Why should I play Tourist Bus Sim GTA? It's like Firmbus. I know, I finished the game, so why should I play it? I streamed it and finished the game many moons ago. Well, Baz, I'm not responsible for you buying games. You resist? It's Firmbus on an island. Yeah, but at least it's a decent quality island. Like, the actual island is pretty well done, but the gameplay just isn't really there, is it? In fact, it still has the same kind of dodgy physics. And if I remember when we played it pre-release, then we played it post-release. And pre-release, I certainly found quite a number of issues. Post-release, the gameplay was a bit, ugh. Did I get a truck pick here? No. What if there's DLC content? I'm pretty certain there was, or has been, DLC content. They've released buses, I think, from Firm Bus into Tourist Bus Sim. Something like that. You bought 40 games because of me, Bob. Not guilty. Yeah, there was some weird hotel stuff, Connor. I remember that.
Go straight on.
Wait,
Then
what?
Turn left.
Go straight on? Are you joking? You blame me for City Skylines close to 1,000 hours.
Keep right.
Whoa, I swear that guy was indicating. I swear that guy was indicating before that junction. What a scumbag. On the Porsche video, was the map of the track actually in the car? It was in the car. A lot of these higher-end sports cars, because they know that you're probably going to put them on the track, the sat-nav has a built-in like support for the racetracks, and they just loaded up Silverstone. Interestingly, on the Ford, there's no... Oh yeah, I suppose there is there. There's a green range down there, isn't there, between 800 and 1250 revs. And then there's a blue range between 1500 and 2000, which must be the torque range. So low range is fuel efficiency, the blue is probably torque, and then red is obvious. So in theory, I should be cruising in that gear for maximum fuel efficiency. Yeah, it's the danger zone.
I got a bad feeling about this.
That's what I said, isn't it, Jonathan? Thomas, are you feeling alright, Paul? Because you would have crashed into one or two of the AR vehicles by now.
Ahead.
I made up for it, Thomas, by being crashed into in Firm Bus probably at least a dozen times.
Turn left.
You think we hit almost everything in Firm Bus? I didn't get a braking misbehavior. I got a steering misbehavior a few times. And I don't think I got fined for running a red light.
Keep right. Then turn right. Turn right.
I hate it when the AI does this. This makes no sense. Let me turn my indicator off. Now he goes. But they just, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't think they're coordinating. I think the AI is just following the same logic. Like the same bit of code that says, if this, this, and this, then stop, applies to every vehicle. So they all go, oh. Scandinavian Express. Bringing cheese to Northern Ireland. English in chat, please, guys. I know there's a few Turkish guys watching, and it's great to have you here, but it's an English-only chat. Enjoy your fireworks, Mark. They've stopped here. You don't understand driving on the left. It's like driving on the right, yeah? Except it's on the left. Just the other side of the line down the middle, it's just the same. And when you get to a roundabout, instead of going around it that way, you go around it that way. It's literally it. It's so easy. Mind blown. I know. It is mind blowing. It's the same as the rail. Like, if you look at English rail networks, they go on the left. And in Europe, they go on the right. It's the same concept. Tuesday, Callum. Comes out on Tuesday. So normally, when you approach this roundabout in the right lane, you would go off to the right that way, and you go around it anti-clockwise. Correct? Well, when you're on the left, you go clockwise around the roundabout.
Take the exit.
Casper, welcome back. Yes, the Ford is going to be a free mod to download on Tuesday. This looks like a reasonable spot for a photo. Mads, how you doing, sir? Get some nice autumnal colours. Not had one of the truck proper yet. Go like that. And then... the developer was in the chat. I don't know if he's still in now. Groot Beer, thank you for the bits. Just some bits to celebrate. I'm starting work again tomorrow after 3 weeks of vacation. Dude! I wish I could get 3 weeks of vacation. Thank you for the bits. X-ray looks awful. I don't think it does. I just don't think it works with the colour of the truck. You got 15 days to take, Dave. 2 weeks is normal. Like 3 weeks, though, is... That's got to feel good. Just saw your V180 camera at BH. Thank you. A broken down motorist back there. Too good to stop and lend a hand. If only I could get out of my truck, and if only I had the tools to fix their car. Otherwise, I would. When's the IRL train video coming out, James? Do you mean the one that came out on Saturday? Do you have a favourite hotel brand to stay at? I'm quite happy with Premier Inns. You know what you're going to get. They're relatively cheap. Quite happy with the Premier Inn, to be honest. Could have given him a push, lol. Do we use track IR? Yep.
Keep right. Then turn
You're not a
right.
fan of Premier Inn, Dave? Do you look for bed bugs when you stay? Dude.
Turn right.
If you took an ultraviolet camera, like an ultraviolet light, a black light, and looked for bed bugs, you would never stay at a hotel. In fact, you'd probably never stay in your own bed. It's better just not to look. Try and remember what it was like when you was a kid. When you didn't actually car.
Go straight on.
That's where you want to be. Not like bringing the black light out and going, oh my life, I'm not sleeping here. Jacob, is this a mod? Is it pre-release? Is that a Ford, by the way? Is this pre-release? Thank you, bro. You mean dust mites? What, you can call them... Wait, what's going on here? Why am I doing this? You can call them bed bugs, dust mites, whatever you want. Hang on, we're going back here. Lost the plot. There's always a floor. You think the floor's any better?
You have reached your destination.
The floor's probably like the worst place. Especially if it's carpet. Life hacks, don't sleep. Uh-oh. Can't see. Oh my god, I literally can't see a thing out of that mirror. Let's see where we are. Most of this generation in the house comes from humans. Yep. Most of it is actually your dead skin flaking off, which the dust mites feed on. But the problem is the dust mite eggs stay around for, like, even if you wash all the bedding, the eggs can still survive. And they live in the mattress. You literally can't get rid of them. And that's why it's best to just not worry too much. You've made it this far in life and you wasn't worried about him, don't worry about him anymore. Like, people who just, like, look at pictures of them, like microscopic pictures, going, oh my god, I'm sleeping. Like, just don't. Just don't. It's not worth it. Right, I'm just going to go for a bio break. You blame Paul for the long dark. Every trick and bus sim. Truck sim, you mean. Farm sim, Mice and Macar, City Skylines, Planet Coaster. I make no apologies, Carl. Anyway, back in a sec. I'll take my cup with me.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
I think it's going to be cold tonight. It's a clear sky. Is a new Modern Warfare any good, or is it just the same as the last cut? I've not played it. Just looking at what's going on Twitch, like with the streamers playing it, I've seen a few streamers play it for 2 days and then stop playing it. So I'm kind of wondering about whether it's any good or not. I won't be buying it anyway, so... Oh, it's discoverable down there. Let's go and get that. Modern Warfare campaign seems short. The campaign is the only reason I'd buy it, and I don't think they put that much focus on it anymore.
Welcome.
I wanted to buy it for Christmas. BarberTube, I've already got a free key sent to me, so I'm not even installing it. Solid Bond, welcome back. Miss Anna Banana, how you doing? 49 months. Hope you're well.
Right turn ahead.
Forecast says 4 Celsius.
Turn
Ooh.
right.
Mrs. Squirrel's gonna be like, oh, put the heating up. I'm freezing. Exactly, I've got Red Dead. Red Dead's on my mind. And Transport Fever.
Keep left.
Your mother says hi. Asks how's the weather. Clear skies. And cool.
Take the exit.
The problem with COD multiplayer is when it's too fast and constant running around. Yeah, it's spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die. That's why I don't play it.
Keep left. Then go straight on. Go straight on.
I've said before, I like playing games now where, like shooter games where death has a higher price.
Go straight on.
You don't just get to die, spawn, and come back. Like, you die and sit out the round kind of thing. I prefer a game like that.
You have reached your destination.
Have I?
Welcome back, Nutter.
No. You've actually gone past your destination. Race room experience. I know of it, not tried it myself. Yes, please, Connor. Gonna be -1 on your commute to college. Love the one Halloween and bonfire night is chilly. Autumn is my favourite season. Spring. I like spring, Connor. Before the pollen kicks in, spring. When the days start getting long again. That's what I like. And the weather's still nice and cool, but the pollen's not making me sneeze and suffer. I don't like autumn so much because you're heading towards winter, you know, and it's all... One page of stuff. Nothing going to Scotland. Yikes. At least you finished the first Bioshock game. I think I finished the first one. Speaking of cups of tea, it took a good number of streams to realise that was a soundbite. Have you heard of the Team Trees thing? Dunno. Hey White Fang, first time I caught you live. Nice. Smoked eel to Carlisle. Grimsby. Dumfries or Carlisle. Let's go to Carlisle. So let me have a look at the jobs in there. Yeah, we'll definitely go to Carlisle. It's got way more jobs. Let's take that. You want to end the summer? You're never going to get it. Unless you move around the planet. It's physically impossible.
Go straight on.
Slow wipers. You can make them quicker.
Straight on. Then turn left. Turn left.
rains in Ireland. Quite a lot, actually.
Keep left. Then
John
turn left.
Kism, thank you for half a year.
Turn left.
Still snowing. Chris, you live in Norway. You've got to expect snow. No, there's no Ford dealership in the game. You just go to the truck mod. When you go to the truck dealers and you've got the list of dealers down the side, bottom right it says access the truck mod garage or something. Click on that. It's in there. It's not that one, it's this one.
You have reached your destination.
What are we transporting again? Smoked eel. See, I would have thought smoked eel went in a refrigerated trailer, not an insulated one. Oh, Phillips, I forgot that the clocks changed last night. As for the same reason, the clock on my PC hasn't updated, so I thought the stream is nearing its end. Dude! It's like nearly the end of the day and you've just realised. That's genius. That's amazing. How can you go the entire day without realising? You need to get a clock. Like, surely your mobile phone changed. You need to get a clock that sets itself. Because that's a fail, that is. You've been at work all day, so your PC's been switched. Well, what about your phone? Surely you've got a mobile phone. That is funny though.
Go straight on.
Phone is updated, but you go off the time on your PC. Well, your PC's telling you porkies.
Left turn ahead.
Well, not quite, Zarak. Apparently his PC didn't change. Phones update automatically. They get the time from the network.
Right.
A PC normally gets its time from a time server on the internet. So as long as your PC is like on, it will get the time from the internet, usually. But it is actually a setting in the control panel. You can disable it. What on earth is going on here? Oi! I've got reversing into my truck, bro. There goes the paint job. It actually looked like that thing hit me when it reversed, but it didn't say anything.